everyone, welcome to Coho Commissary, East Georgia. Today we're here meeting one of our members. You know him through Elbo Patties, you know him as your favorite Auntie. We have Chris Boreland.
Hi.
Today we're making a family meal. Chris has a really interesting sandwich. I have a very inappropriately spicy hot soup, and we're gonna go off on it.
Just growing up, I kind of understand growing up with immigrant parents.
Yeah.
There's this whole thing of like preservation
Right.
and not wasting food.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff in our household were canned. So like we would get like canned mackerel and bully beef.
Is this like a diaspora cuisine, I guess?
Yeah.
Like something that isn't inherently in Jamaica, but something that is in Jamaica adjacent?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Were you like formally trained, or did you learn a lot of this just on the job, like cooking wise?
I went to Humber College and studied there for about 2.5 years. And then unfortunately I fell ill, so I had to leave. So I was just like, you know what? It's a sign, this ain't for me. So I ended up leaving. So I got here in August 11th, and then I got my first job, which was in Gastown, on the 20th. So I worked for Sean Heather for a good amount of years. I bounced around his restaurants. Then I took over Judas Goat, ran that for 2.5 years. Left there, went to Sardine Can.
Woo.
Yeah, and then worked there for 4 years, making tapas and all the empanadas you can think of. The pandemic happened, and then Asha told me about this place. Again, I still worked at Birch's Pie then, but I was like making patties outside of my house. And like customers would come to the alley and pick them up. It was super sketch and fun.
Right.
And then Coho opened. Asha said, get in here quickly while there's space. I said, all right.
From like doing so many varied things to making, like I wouldn't say just one thing now, but focusing on one thing, like has that been a big shift for you, or?
I'm sort of a perfectionist when it comes to certain things. So I like to hone in on one thing and really break it apart.
Right.
You know what I mean? And really analyze every single flavor of it. For me personally, the way I like to cook is I take my time with everything. I like soups and stuff like that, layered food.
Oh,
so
man,
I will really study every aspect of it. And then I kind of apply that to my own life. Because I realized I was like, I'm working very hard for other people. So let me apply that to something that I love.
Right.
And then Elbo came along. My dad and my uncles, they all played cricket back in Ontario. So every Sunday was a family reunion, we like to call it. So my other uncle, he would make bully beef sandwiches. And he would come with a big cooler, and it was that and cucumber sandwiches as well. And we just ate these up as a child. Like, I loved it. So we add a little ketchup. As you can see, it's getting a little brown.
It's my favorite.
And by a little, I mean a lot. And that's it. So then just gonna take that off the heat.
Cool.
Add that guy back to our onion pepper mix.
That is cool though, man, that you had so many family around you and that community was such like a big part growing up.
Oh yes.
Like, are all your cousins kind of relatively the same age as you too, or?
No. I'm the youngest out of the second generation. And I'm 35 now, so my family's pretty old.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
I know, right?
Well done.
Couldn't tell.
Honestly.
Basically the Caribbean version of sandwich and chips. It's not talked about enough, mental health in kitchen spaces. They can be very toxic. And kind of working in the kitchen and still figuring out my own identity, but still trying to be in the boys club is very hard, right? And that takes a large toll on you. Anthony Bourdain and his suicide, that spoke to me. It spoke to the world. And that's where I kind of got the the courage to really live. how I want to live through the food that I create. And then, you know, your auntie then became this.
That's amazing, man. Did that just come out of starting Elbo Patties?
Yeah.
Being your favorite, like a persona in a sense too.
Yeah, because cooking with my cousin when he would come down to visit, it was always that family experience, and it was just like we're aunties in the kitchen, we're gossiping, we're drinking tea, and we're cooking. So it became the thing where we're just like we're those aunties.
Yeah.
And when I was kind of serving friends, they'd say thank you, auntie, because they knew the dialogue that me and my cousin would have, and then I was
Such like an organic.
Yeah,
thing.
I was like,
That's
I guess I'm everyone's favorite auntie, and it just became a thing.
Dang.
When I was coming out, it was a question to myself, okay, where do I go from here? Because Jamaica, as though it's grown since, isn't very open or liberal to homosexuality. So I thought there had to be one or the other. And then, you know, I started to get more comfortable with myself, and I really missed my culture.
Yeah.
So I said, like everything else in the world that I do, I find it and I make it my own, so why can't I do that with this? And then kind of incorporate that with Elbo, and said, this is going to be a safe, queer Caribbean space.
Koreans have this weird idea, well not weird, but this idea called 시원하다,
Okay.
which is just like, I guess translates to like refreshing. So when it's hot as hell, you're
Yeah.
sweating your ass off, you want to eat something hot too, to sweat even more, and it's like refreshing almost.
Okay.
And like if you go like, I don't know, when things lighten up in a Korean restaurant, you'll hear everyone just make this like, that sound.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a shot of soju or like a really hot soup or something super spicy.
Uh-huh.
It's just a universal thing that we all just do. It's a very straightforward recipe.
Okay.
I love this kind of stuff because it really is, you boil it, and just the longer you boil it, the better it is. And if it boils too much, then you just add more water and you call it a day. So
Yeah.
we're gonna just saute a bit of onions and the kimchi and some oil just to cook it out a little bit. Dumping in the water, and then there's no al dente.
Okay.
It's boiling the hell out of it.
Okay.
Like you said earlier with elbow patties, like it's not a patty if it isn't flaky. Like,
Right.
is there a lot of like purists, or is there such a thing as
Oh,
like
yeah.
patty purists?
I mean, I think sometimes I might be one too.
Yeah.
But then obviously like doing more research and understanding that that region makes the patty that way. And I was like, okay, so that's your version of the patty. And then I got mine, so, you know, we're all family.
And that's kind of when I'll add in my rice water.
Now, is that an important aspect? It has to be rice water? Or
No,
it
you can
just be
use
water?
like whatever. You can use dashi, you can use stock, you can use beef stock. A lot of the food I think that I understand now how to make from Korea is like, it's based on just waste, like excess ingredients.
Right.
Like we have soju, but then from soju I think we have makgeolli, which is like another alcohol.
Okay.
A lot of alcohol. But a lot of other things too. Like we're pigeonholed into this one idea. Like when my parents immigrated here, they were chasing nostalgia in their own way. So it's not like they grew up with like regional and royal cuisine and like all these things. Like no, they were shady college students. And since you're a fan of spice,
Yes.
gochujang. So it's the same chilies that were in, I guess, the powder. But they take it and they ferment it, and it's kind of like miso, but not at all, where it's just like a long process of grinding a paste with like other vegetable, I think, or rice paste,
Okay.
and just letting it age. It's like you said, it's a soup and sandwich combo. It's soup, sandwich, a bit of chips on the side, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Kind of like going back to what I said, when I resonate with places that I work, looking for a space was also important. And bouncing around the city, I've been in a few other commissary kitchens. When I found here and I was saying to Asha, instantly I felt that community, not even just from like the kitchen managers, but the other companies that work here. Like I came in just for orientation, look around, everyone's saying hi, oh, what do you do? And there was that excitement and that camaraderie of wanting to already like, you know, get involved and see, and resources from everybody, especially the kitchen management when I started, because that was a big thing for me. I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I have a better understanding of what I'm doing from being here. And the beauty of that is the collaborations that come out of working here.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Really, thank you so much to Chris Boreland, our favorite auntie, and for really right reasons why. For sharing so much about his story, his recipes, like his time. For Coho, for just giving us the space and just being able to tell these kinds of stories, because entrepreneurship, community, food is never just a straight path. Lots of highs, plenty of lows, but in the day we get to do really cool things like this. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe to our channel. It's probably not right here, but somewhere along down here, and see the stories of 125, 26, 27, and growing members. Or visit our website if you want to get some of the delicious food that Chris makes and all of our members make.